Hey guys, it's Sarah with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we have a review and install of the RedRock 4x4 Baja Upper Replacement Grille with a matte black finish, fitting your 13 to 18 Ram 1500 excluding the Rebel. This is perfect for the Ram owner who's looking for a bolt-up grille replacement that features a sleek honeycomb design, deletes the factory emblem, and includes LED accent lighting, all without breaking the bank. This replacement grille features an open honeycomb design that is unrestricted, unlike your factory grille, increasing the airflow to your engine bay. This grille is constructed from injection molded ABS material with a matte black finish that you can leave as is or paint to match your truck. This grille is designed to provide OEM fit and finish and also includes 3 LED amber accent lights. So as far as price goes, this one comes in at around $150, making it one of the most budget-friendly grilles you can choose for your Ram, and to make it even sweeter, it includes accent lighting. So I'm giving this install a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It features a direct bolt-up install. It does require a bit of wiring to power your LEDs, but all in all, it can be done within 2 hours. So with that said, let's check out our install. For this install, you will need an impact gun or a ratchet will work just fine, a 10mm socket, Phillips head screwdriver. You may want some needle nose pliers and a wire stripper and crimper tool. Alright, so the first step in our uninstall is to grab a 10mm socket, and what we're going to do is remove the 4 10mm bolts holding on the top of our grill. Alright, so once the bolts are out of our grill, you can lift up on the brackets and pull straight out towards you. Alright, now that we have our factory grill uninstalled from our truck, we can check it out side by side with our new grill up top. Now, as you can see visually, they are a bit different. This grill features a matte black finish, which you can leave as is or paint match to your truck. In addition, one of the best features to point out is the LED lighting in the top of our grill, which obviously the factory does not come with. It does sport this honeycomb style that sort of is similar to the factory, but because there's a lot less plastic on the edges in the center, there's going to be a ton more airflow through your grill. So with that said, let's finish up our install. Alright, so we do have to do a couple things before we can bolt our grill up. First is installing these brackets so that we can actually bolt it to the truck. These line up right on the edges here, so we're going to start with this corner, slide it into place, and then with the included Phillips head screws, get it installed. Grab a Phillips head screwdriver, go ahead and tighten it down. All right, go ahead and move on to the center section. We're gonna line up the bracket here. It should have 2 tabs on either side right there. That's how you know whether it's lined up. Grab some more of the Phillips head screws and tighten them down. Moving on to the next section, this is the same but mirrored. So make sure the tabs are lined up on each spot. And we'll install our hardware. And finally, the far corner installs in the same way. Finally, we're going to install these clips on the bottom corners so that it can clip in place on the truck. All right, so one thing we need to do for our wiring is that we're gonna put some connectors on the end here. They have included vampire clips to just go straight to the wiring on your truck, but I like these spade connectors because we can disconnect these at some point if we do need to remove the grill. There are lots of different ways to wire these up. So go with whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever works best for your truck. But I do like these because they're able to be disconnected. We're just sliding the connector on the end here, and we're just gonna crimp it down. Now these are not heat shrink. I would suggest heat shrinkable connectors. They're more weather resistant and they're gonna hold up a little bit longer. Just double check that your connection is nice and tight. We're gonna do that on the other side as well. These wires are pretty thin, that's why I'm folding them over on themselves. Go ahead and slide it in the connector and we're gonna crimp it down. All right, again, we're just gonna double check that it has a nice, good connection. Let's install it on the truck. All right, so in order to tap into the electric on the truck, what we're gonna do is we're going to remove this headlight here by removing these two 10mm bolts. Grab the headlight and pull straight forward to dislodge it from the pin at the back there. And what we're gonna do, we're not gonna disconnect anything. We're gonna tap into the marker light on the side here so that we can have power to those LEDs with our running lights. Now you can wire this in however you like. You can tap into your main harness, you can run it straight to the battery, but this will get you your marker lights on with the lights on the grill. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get power and ground off of this right here. All right, so the two wires we want to tap into are the brown and white wire in the center here and the black wire for ground. We just used a test light to make sure this wire is the one we want. It's going to light up when your marker lights are on. So just double check on your own truck because it may not be the exact same color. We're hooking up the vampire clip now. What we're going to do is we're going to slide the wire right in the center there. Again, there's about a million different ways to wire these in. Vampire clips are not the most permanent solution, but they get the job done, and they get it done quickly without a ton of work. If you want a more permanent solution, splicing or even soldering would be the way to go. Go ahead and clamp it down. I like to use a needle nose to make sure I get a good connection. And now we're just going to do the same thing on the ground wire here. All right, next up we're gonna route the wiring from our grill through the opening here for the headlight. Now you wanna make sure all this wiring is tucked up nicely, zip tied, away from anything hot or moving. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook this yellow wire up to the white and brown. Again, we're looking for the power that comes on when we turn our marker lights on, our running lights. And then the other one here, it's a little hard to see because it does have a bit of yellow on it, but it's mostly black. This is our ground wire. So we're gonna do that one straight to the black of the ground on the back of the headlight. Now that these are plugged in, we're gonna tuck all the wiring away. You may wanna zip tie it around, make sure that it's secure, it's not near anything hot or moving. And then we're just gonna line up our headlight and reinstall it. Reinstall your factory hardware. Grab your 10mm socket and tighten it down. And tighten down the top one as well. All right, now you can line up your grill. Line up the brackets on top. Make sure your bracket's going underneath the hood cable. Go ahead and press the bottom into place. Line up your brackets and start installing your hardware. Grab your 10mm socket and tighten it down. Repeat that process with the rest of the mounting points, installing your factory hardware. Grab your 10mm socket and tighten them down. Now keep in mind these are plastic brackets, so just be careful with how much you are tightening them down because you don't want to break them. All right, so that is going to do it for the review and install of this grill. And remember, for all things Ram, keep it at AmericanTrucks.com.